Welcome to Culture on Tap. We are a podcast that is about bridging the cultural gap one conversation at a time. We have myself, Xavier. We have the man, the myth, the movement, the legend, Range Armentar. And we have my beautiful wife for one more week talking about my broadcaster voice and, making fun of me. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe anywhere you listen to or watch podcasts. Make sure you hit the bell so that you get the notifications whenever we have new content, so that you can tap in with us.
Tap in.
So that we can be a resource for you, whether to challenge and or encourage. Wow.
Wow, what?
No, you just only got something to say to me and making fun of me.
See, this is where people don't actually see this side of you.
I'm just saying this is
because actually
these are facts.
Okay.
All right. So opening up this time one last time before
so long.
Yeah, you're off of the podcast. We learned about food with you. We learned about, your favorite movie scene that gets you every time.
Gets me every time.
Now, let's talk about some of your bucket list items. I think
How many do you want?
Range and I will go first because we'll just do one.
Go ahead. Go.
Right,
you want my list?
Yeah, you got a list. You have a whole list. It's literally a bucket list.
Let me open up my list.
While are you doing that, Range? One bucket list item for you, because I think we've done this before.
Yeah, I think we've done it on the show.
Yeah.
I would say at one time it was top. I don't know if it's top now, but I would say a trip to Australia.
Yeah.
Why don't you know if it's top anymore?
I don't know, because I really want to go to Israel too.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good.
Too.
Yeah, that's
I
a good
that
one.
Too.
That's a good one. I think one that I haven't said, or I didn't say the last time, was I want to experience Disneyland Shanghai. Because I love pirates, and they have the pirates that's different from any other. So I really want to experience that, and that whole pirates land that they have there.
What's the name of it?
I can't remember.
Come on, babe.
I can't remember.
I could get down with that trip.
Treasure Cove.
Treasure Cove Island, I think.
Yeah.
Treasure Cove or something like that. But that's mine. One I haven't said. What about you?
Okay, so you want
Your
all
list.
of them? You want
Your
my list?
Yes.
Okay.
And give us context to each one
Homestead.
of them. Okay.
I want a homestead.
Okay.
I want to, and that's kind of like the in thing right now. But I think I remember growing up, my mom had a garden, and we would go in the backyard. It was a big garden too. Both of my grandmas had gardens, canning, like all those types of things. My uncle still has cows that he butchers that my grandma still gets, meat from, all those things. And I just
raising the dogs.
Yeah, raising the dogs. All I come from that.
Yeah.
Right. That's a part of me. I want to do that. I want to teach my kids that. I want to learn about flowers. I would love to work at a flower shop, not just for creating, but I'm going to go down a rabbit trail.
Go for it.
So last night we were talking, and we asked Zavi, because Xavier read scripture, and then we asked Zavi, I asked him, how does God speak to you? He was like, through nature. And I'm like, okay. I was like, let's talk about that. I was like, because God speaks through mommy through nature as well. And I just think with flowers, there's so much meaning and there's purpose. You can use flowers more than just decoration to somebody. So I think that would be just cool to kind of do that. I would love to own and purchase a motorcycle.
Okay.
I really would, but not. I don't want a sports one. I don't want a sport. Not like this, because I think my arms. Go lay down. Go. Thank you, ma'am. Just give me another hour. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not the hanging handlebars. I just want, like an old school, anyways. I don't know nothing about motorcycles, so don't ask me what type of one. I don't know. I like Kurt's, that green one.
Indian.
Yeah, I really like that one. That was nice, and it's loud. I like loud and muscle, not fast, and Anyways, okay. There's a story behind this one. I would love to become a pilot.
Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart, huh?
There's more than
Amelia lost.
There is more than one female pilot. First off,
That's the most famous one that I know.
So I've actually started taking my pilot's license thing twice in my life.
really,
I didn't know that.
I would love to.
Fun
get my
facts for the
pilot's
range.
license.
I would love
Yeah.
that. Like, I think that would be
So there's places like in Tomball area
huh.
where you can take what they call a discovery flight.
Okay, I did that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's called a discovery flight. So this is my story behind why.
We
So
got JFK Jr. and Amelia Earhart.
hush.
Your story behind.
Hold on. So there's an airport in LaPorte next, and my mom works at the church right there, and it's right next door. And I was 12, I think, and I could tell you exactly what I was wearing. I'll save you all those details. But my brother Brandon, we were leaving, and they had people sitting out with a table that said, "Do you want to fly a plane?" There was some type of advertisement.
Yeah.
So Brandon was like, "You want to do it?" And I was like, "Sure." So we go. But I couldn't, my brother couldn't sign for me. So we called my mom real quick, and she was like, "Yeah, I remember y'all called me, and I came, and my kid's going up in a plane." But I actually got to fly the plane. And, we were flying around, and, we went and flew by the house. Took our time. It took me forever to spot my house. And it was a really cool experience. And had you and I not made it through high school, tune in for the podcast before that, a little tidbit of that drama. That was beautiful. Yeah. I would have went to the Air Force, I think. I really would have went and did that had him and I not, and softball had not been a real big thing. Mm-hmm. I would have went to the Air Force. So that's where that comes in. I think it could come in handy too, being a pilot. But who
Come in
knows?
handy for what? What do you expect to happen?
I mean, do you really want to go down that rabbit trail?
No.
Okay.
Just land the plane.
I just land
the plane.
I would love to shoot a bow and arrow and bow hunt. Not like crossbow, like a bow and arrow. I would love to. Yep.
Robin Hood.
Yep. No. More like
Katniss.
Merida. No,
Oh,
Merida.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Get it
Okay.
right. If you're gonna ad lib, get it right. I would love to start roller skating for fun.
Okay.
For exercise. That's kind of a bucket list thing because I'm like I can roller skate, but I'm kind of ooh, do I really want to do that? I do, but there's some. I think that's one I could do right now. And then I would love to go to Greece and swim in the caves, like that. Not like the ones that are kind of open and get a boat in there, but I would love to go just dive off in that water. Sure would.
Oh.
That's what I got so far. I'll let you guys know if I start any of those endeavors and how far I get, okay?
Yeah. I mean, we definitely got to know that you like to live life on the edge.
And you are on the sidelines praying nothing happens.
Exactly.
Yep.
I am the cautious chameleon.
You are cautious.
In this outfit.
So, scenario.
All right,
Oh,
give it
Lord.
to me. I'm ready.
Go on
Maybe.
a discovery flight, and the person that you're going with, the trainer or whatever, says, "Hey X, we got room. Jump in."
You not getting in with
I
us?
don't think I am. I don't know.
Jessica
That's too
did.
much pressure.
Did she?
Jessica jumped right in.
Oh, I know Jess. My girl, she's an adventurer too.
Yeah, I'm a cautious
She jumped right
chameleon.
in.
Yeah. I think you would do it. I think I could get you to do it, baby. Not
I
that I
don't
would
know.
try to bribe you, but I think you could do it.
So I'm in there while you flying the plane.
Okay, well, first off, it's not like I'm just all willy-nilly trying to fly the plane. Like, he let me fly with just a stick, but he has a stick, like, he could control it at any time. Because I remember being scared. I remember being like, it's too hard. He was like, that 8-year-old girl just did it right before you. So, you know, the competitive juice. I was like, I got this. Move on, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like, willy-nilly, like, I'm trying to figure this thing out. Like,
All right. Well, yeah, I'll do that then.
Yeah.
I'll do that then. Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Health.
Health. Our health journey. How's it been? Where did it
A
start?
roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I felt like, probably like most teenagers do, I'm going to be fine, right? I've been playing sports my whole life. Like, I'm good. Like, I got muscle. I'm solid. You get married. You still living in that mindset. You get a deep fryer for your wedding thing.
We was
you
deep
just-
frying everything.
My
we was
senior,
deep frying
listen, my
everything.
senior year of college, before softball started, I did a physical, and it came back that my cholesterol was high. And I'm like running around the bases. I think I ran from first to third. And I remember being so out of breath. And like I was huffing. And because we got married in the summer. So softball season doesn't start till like second semester. Okay, so I mean that's June to like, I think we start scrimmages in March. You know, we're practicing, but it's not a game, right? I slid into third and I started huffing and puffing, and Carrie Tall, she goes, Lord, I bet you wish you didn't have high cholesterol right now. So she did me dirty. They bought me some honey bunches of O's to try and, because anyways, that was the whole thing. It's been a roller coaster, but you know, you just think it's never going to happen to you, and then one day you wake up and you say, how did I get here?
What happened?
What happened? Right? What happened was we got married. And then what happened was we got pregnant. And then we thought we could go and eat a family pack of fudge rounds and everything would be okay. We ate that family pack of fudge rounds in one day.
By yourself.
No. We. Okay? That's why I have fudge rounds. They would get me. Anyways, so it's been a roller coaster. It's been healing. It's been good these last seasons. There's been clarity. And when we say health journey, it's not just physical. Like something we've truly recognized within the last like 2-3 years is it is physical, spiritual, and emotional.
All connected.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
So I think I did the She Talks. Put a little plug in here. If you guys are looking for a good detox, friend Sheila Garcia, she's got a She Talks, and it works. It's good. I got on it, and I got stuck after having Kaya. I was 20 pounds from pre-pregnancy weight, which like is college weight, and I can feel it physically. I hurt, like it's uncomfortable. And I just, for like mentally, I was just like, I'm doing this, like, and he was gonna do it with me. Then he got COVID, and he couldn't smell or taste anything. I was making tacos one night. I had already started my She Talks, and I was committed. Like, I was in that thing. And made my tacos. I said, I don't know how they taste because I ain't taste testing them at all. And he was like, I can't do this one. I need some tacos. So I did it by myself, which, like, that's not me. Like, I think I needed to do that because I think it showed me that, like, you can do this. Like, somebody who's come from team sports, I'm definitely the kind of person. It's not something I love about myself, but I also know it may not be such a bad, I don't know. Anyways, I'm definitely the type of person that I want you to hold my hand for a minute. Like, hold my hand, let me ask you 1,001 questions, and then once I get it, I got it, right? Like, so I think the She Talks was good for me to just mentally and emotionally, and going on that journey. And then shortly,
during that.
Yeah.
No, because I
I don't
what
even
sparked
remember
it,
what year that was.
late 2020, early 2021. What sparked it for me was
Oh.
going to the DPS office,
Oh yeah.
and
I think the people need to see it.
then no.
Okay.
Then taking my picture, and they're asking me all of these different questions. How tall are you? How much you weigh? And on my on
How much did you tell?
my driver's license, 205,
That's not what it says.
6'1", 6'2", 205. That's what I told them. And I took the picture, and I looked so big that I was like, "Can y'all retake the picture?" Because I thought it was me, or I thought it was.
You thought you was like standing like
I thought
this?
I was standing in a certain type of way that made me look like that. They took it. Nope, same thing. And then I came back, and I wasn't feeling good, and I didn't know I had COVID yet. So I came to you, and I was like, "Why didn't you tell me?
I was this fat.
Like, why didn't you tell me?" But then I started to process things like, "Oh man, I'm getting wind to tie my shoes." Like all of these different things, and I'm like, okay,
no energy.
I've got to change something very quickly. What helped was getting COVID,
Like a kickstart, basically.
because
You're
I
right.
dropped the first 12 pounds
12, yeah.
like that because I was sick. But like you're saying, like the connection of, because that's the thing. We're not just talking about we've lost this weight and we've started.
That's
this
not even the
fitness.
best part,
That's
I
not.
feel like. Definitely a plus, but it's not.
That's not the main focus. However, it was one of the things that helped us just to see that, oh wow, like whenever I do have more energy, I am emotionally available. I am more spiritually disciplined because I'm physically disciplined. Like I'm getting up at the same time. I'm doing all of these different things that are routine, but it's helping thrust me into seeking the Lord more.
Yep.
It's helping me being emotionally available to my kids.
Yeah.
It's helping me being emotionally available in the different capacities where I'm serving, whether it's at Youth Reach or whether it's at the church or whatever the case may be. So there is a physical element to it, but like she said, it's not the most important part for us because of what we've seen spiritually and emotionally and how the Lord has connected all of it to us. Because I think for so long I know for us and maybe society as a whole, I'm not sure, we separate everything. We like to compartmentalize. We separate everything. Oh, physically I'm this, spiritually I'm this, emotionally I'm this. And it's like, all of that is connected. You have to rein all of that in, and we're so focused on one element over here or one element over here and not putting them together. So
I think you should speak more into being a father and how important it is to take care of your health. Because I think that there's been this new trend of having a dad bod. And listen, I'm not knocking nobody, but I'm just saying I don't think it's something that should be praised, because at least from our experiences, when you were walking in your dad bod, you were emotionally and spiritually so disconnected from us. And it affected everything.
Yeah.
Like it affected how you interacted with us, how you loved us, how you served us. And I think it's so important, and it's important for us as wives, but I think it's really important for the men, the husbands, the fathers of the household, because they are the leaders of the household. And so when you're taking that step and you're taking your health seriously, it's going to impact your entire family. And we're evident, there's evidence of that from our life.
Yeah.
And so I think you should just kind of speak into that.
yeah, because one day, I think what she's getting at, one day
I wasn't trying to get at nothing.
oh, okay.
I'm being serious. Like,
No,
this is a real thing.
I know
Like,
you're being
okay.
serious, but I thought
I mean, maybe when you say something, it's going to be
I
like,
thought
yeah.
you were thinking of a certain situation.
Go ahead,
in
say it. Go ahead.
Galveston.
Oh, you could say that. I was not thinking about that one.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Well,
say that
you know, I had a day off. We went to the beach. I'm tired. So
one. And you didn't you get a drink? Nothing. Sorry.
I'm tired. So what I did was, instead of interacting with Lauren and the boys, because it was
Kaya
just
was a baby. She was in that
Oh,
swing,
she was in the
remember?
swing.
She was tiny, small. So it's me and 3 and under. 3 kids, 3 and under. Trying to be intentional, having family time.
I decided to dig a hole and lay in it
The entire time. The entire
the
time.
whole time. I
Kaya was
dug a
crying,
hole.
the wind was blowing, the boys were playing in the water, and I just remember feeling, this ain't it. Like, I never want to go out again because it's just me with the 3 kids.
Yeah.
Like, that's not it. And let me tell you something, husbands, if you're doing that, fathers, if you're doing that, that ain't it. That's not okay. That is not what the Lord has called you to. You need to be pulled up out of that and that mindset. Don't be stuck in that, because you have one life. You have one chance at marriage, or maybe not, maybe a couple of chances. I don't know, but that ain't it.
Yeah.
But also, wives need to be supportive and understanding that dogging and nagging ain't it either.
Mhm.
Okay, don't be a leaky faucet where your husband want to go sit on the corner of the roof rather than being in the house with you.
Proverbs reference.
That ain't it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was physically, like, I was drained.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't drained enough because I dug a hole. But, you know, I was tired, and
But that affected everything.
everything. It affected everything, spiritually, emotionally. So during this journey,
And that was, sorry, just for clarification, that was way before you started this.
Yes. That was
That was a huge gap.
2018.
That was a rough year.
2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't start until 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of fuzz rounds in that time period.
Cosmic brownies with cookies and cream ice cream with some hot fudge on
chocolate
it.
syrup.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I got rid of those cups.
Yes, amen.
He had ice cream cups.
Yeah. No, but yeah, the importance of engaging
Yeah.
physically, spiritually, emotionally. Like, if you can't, and I say all of that to say, if you can't engage physically because you're tired, it's going to affect emotionally, because you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritually, you're tired. You don't have anything to pour out because there's no room.
When I think when you're physically tired, that consumes.
Yeah.
That's all you get. It's like when your Achilles is hurt.
That's all I'm thinking about.
That's all that you feel, right? So it's like when the physical part of it is keeping you, it consumes you.
Yeah.
So then there's I feel like sometimes there's not even a thought process like, oh, I am not emotionally connecting with my wife. Ooh, I am not spiritually leading my kid. You know, I don't even think that was even on your radar.
Yeah.
Because you were just tired
Yeah.
and had no energy.
Yeah. Well, and just stressed out. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was like
Absolutely.
you said, 2018 was a rough year.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if, you know, we went through what we did the last season and I wasn't,
Oh,
you know,
that would be tough.
taking care of myself, I probably would have had a heart attack or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, not even joking.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been really, really bad. But like, yeah, they're all
So what's been the difference though? Let's speak into that more. What's been the difference with you and the kids? Because I think that's important.
Yeah, so being able to engage with it, not just outside. I think that aspect is important,
The
right?
physical part
being
of it,
able
like-
to run with them. Well, not as of late,
No.
but being able to run and engage with them, especially with the boys.
Our kids who like soccer.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that. That is an important part of it. But being able to know my kids in a way to where, and being aware of it emotionally, to engage them, like for instance, Zavi, there's a lot of times where he wants to do something, but he's indecisive and he doesn't
Yeah.
know what he wants to do. So before I wouldn't recognize that. Whereas now I can see it because I'm physically good, emotionally available,
Yeah.
spiritually leading, to where it's like even yesterday, Zabi, let's play Connect 4. And while we're playing, because his love language is quality time, while we're playing, we're just talking.
Yeah.
And we're engaging in that way.
And I think
And he forgets that he's bored.
yeah.
And he forgets that he was indecisive of what he wanted to do, if he wanted to go outside, if he wanted to watch a movie, or whatever the case may be. But I'm engaging him in such a way to where it's like he's enjoying the quality time that he's having with me,
Yeah.
and not even aware of the stress level that he
Right.
just had. And
Right.
that was a very stressful situation
For
for him.
him.
Like, I don't know what I want to do, and almost in tears. But I wouldn't be able to do that
Right.
if I wasn't physically, spiritually, emotionally
Because
connected.
I think prior to this, you would have reacted.
Yes.
Is that safe to say? Like you
Yeah.
would have reacted. Sorry, stop crying. It's not that big. Something.
Go
like,
watch a movie.
Like something like
Go
that.
play with your toys.
But now what you've done, not only have you kind of helped him forget of his indecisiveness, but what you've done now is you've created a safe space for him when those feelings arise. He knows that dad can help him walk through this
Yeah.
as he gets older.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because obviously you're just playing Connect 4, but I think it's so much deeper than just Connect 4. You're
Yeah.
planting seeds of safety and security for him.
Yeah.
And so when things really do get hard and he doesn't know what to do, those little seeds that you've planted, it's not even going to be like he has to think about it. It's just going to be something that happens because you've created that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Or with Kaya, before just her just crying, and I'm like, what
boys
are you?
and girls are definitely different.
What are you crying for? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, so how am I supposed to help
Right.
if I don't know what you're crying for? And being so frustrated. Whereas now it's like,
I've definitely,
you've definitely what?
like, I think too, being a girl has helped you. I mean, obviously. But what I'm saying is, like, just telling you, like, sometimes she doesn't want you to fix it. She just wants you to hug her
Mm-hmm.
and say, I love you.
Mhm.
And a lot of times that will fix it,
Yeah. But before, not being able to even
Sitting there with
remotely
her. Mm-hmm.
see that.
Yeah.
Whereas, I think the last time was she was
Her-
cleaning her room, or was it the outfit? I don't know.
Pick one.
But I remember cleaning her room. It was a mess, and she was freaking out, and I was able to go in there with her and, okay, let's start right here, and just walk her through baby steps. But again, it goes back to,
Being available in that.
can I do that if I'm just digging a hole and laying in it? No,
Yeah.
I can't do that. So just being emotionally, spiritually, physically available in that regard. In what ways do you feel like, because I think all of us, I shouldn't say this, I know for us, for so long, which is true, but for so long, the spiritual aspect of things is highlighted. It is at the forefront. It is the
Yeah.
only thing that matters.
Right.
We're praying over our food, talking about blessed to the nourishment of our body, but it is chili cheese fries, with thick on the Velveeta, and it's just like,
Slap some sour cream on that thing.
and it's like, this is a heart attack waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So for so long, the spiritual aspect of things is like the only thing that matters.
Right.
So I think for us, the adjustment of seeing how they're all connected was very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the struggle in looking at the physical and the emotional aspect of things? Like, how was it how was it a struggle in prioritizing the physical and emotional aspect?
Like the difficulties
Yeah.
of prioritizing the physical and the emotional aspect of it.
Yeah.
Well, I think for me, 2018 was a rough year, and that was like the first year I started going to counseling. So I think for me that the difficulty was just recognizing, oh, there's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
There's an issue, like even on both. Am I answering this right?
Yeah.
Like on both the physical and the emotional, but also recognizing how our emotions affect us physically. Like when you're stressed,
Yeah.
do you get bubble guts?
Yeah.
Do you? I feel my stress is in my neck and my shoulders. So if I like my body is trying, that's your body trying to tell you something's off, right? And
It's
this
also Proverbs 17:22.
read it to me.
It says, "A joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones."
Literally. So they're both coinciding
All
together.
three of them. Yeah.
And so it's recognizing that when our body is trying to tell us something physically, a lot of the times it could be something emotionally that's not being taken care of, which means if that's not being taken care of, then we're not trusting something about the Lord. It's kind of what has helped me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like in moments where I can start to feel stress in my neck and my shoulders, I'm just like, okay, Lord, help me. I'm in the process of really trying to pay attention to my body physically. Trying to listen to it and say, okay, what is it trying to tell me about myself emotionally? Because I feel like these last few, I've done a lot of digging emotionally and saying, okay, I don't want to just walk around a wounded person anymore.
Yeah.
Lord, like I know that I'm broken and I need healing. And so I've really tried to pay attention physically, because then like, or when I feel, like if you're anxious or if you're nervous, there's like certain things, like your stomach can twist and turn, your breathing can, start elevating or, whatever. Like, there's a physical signs when emotional things are going on. So I've tried to be very self-conscious about that and saying, okay, Lord, help me in this moment because I'm feeling anxious, God. What am I feeling anxious about? And then like trying to, like asking myself questions. Okay, I'm anxious because I had a conversation about a kid being taken, or there's been 1,000 Amber Alerts lately, Lord, and now I'm about to walk with my 3 kids and my dog to the park, Lord, and the fear that has literally consumed me at times in my life, God, surrounding my kids, and I'm sure many of other women are parents. And so it's like, okay, Lord, like I don't want to be crippled by fear, and I won't be crippled by fear.
Yeah.
So God, what am I not trusting about you? Like what am I trying to control? And obviously there are things precautions you have to take in the world, and just knowing that you're not safe everywhere you go. Like obviously you want to keep your head up. Obviously, there's things to do and people, just things to watch for.
Yeah.
I am that person. However, certain fears and anxieties can consume me and keep me from living life. And that's not what the Lord has called me to. And so I think sometimes in the emotional side can be difficult if I'm not resting in the Lord. If I'm not taking it back to God and asking Him, Lord, okay, why am I feeling irritated right now? Okay, what is it? What is happening inside of me that isn't reflecting you?
Yeah.
Because we don't think of it that way.
Yeah.
And that has helped me so much to come down emotionally, but also push me back to the Father and saying, okay, God, you've designed this body from head to toe. You know everything about this body. So Lord, help me to pay attention to it, to be kind to it, to heal it in all 3 different aspects. Because it's not, like you said, it's not just highlighting the spiritual. I think God thinks the other 2 are important as well, or He wouldn't have designed it and there wouldn't be scripture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure.
What do you think?
And I think the reality is that whenever you read scripture and you see, whether it's the psalmist, whether it's Paul, whomever is talking about the Lord, you see and you hear things that they highlight, and they're highlighting one of the 5 senses or all of the 5 senses.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the Lord, the invisible God, However, we're also talking about the five senses that we have, whether it's we can see his heart, we can hear his voice, we can feel his touch, we can, or hit our prayers are a fragrant offering. You know, we can taste and see that the Lord is good. There's a physical aspect to that,
Yeah.
but there's a spiritual connection to
Absolutely.
it that is going to help us emotionally. So if we're not aware, and the reality is that in those, like, they're feeling what they're feeling. However, they're in right standing with the Lord, even though sometimes, you know, there may be anger, there may be depression, there may be anxiety, but they are telling themselves or writing these things down, talking about what they're feeling and how it's affecting their body and their five senses, but connecting it to the Lord spiritually.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like there is evidence of Scripture that is connecting all three of these elements together, and we do a disservice to ourselves and to our area of influence if we just continuously separate them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
And I think I'm going to go down a little rabbit trail. But I think, too, let's talk about sex for a minute. Because those things are physical, they can be very spiritual, and they can be emotional. And the enemy and his pervertedness and all the things that, you know, our brokenness and our pervertedness and our fleshly desires, we think it's just sometimes, let me choose my words. For us, right, like it was just physical. For how long?
yeah.
For too long. And I think now it's the spiritual side of things are harder because of the damage that we've done and the things that we've brought into our marriage, the struggles that we've had separately. And I don't think people realize that. I don't think young kids realize that. They think, you're just old, you just talking. No, but I think it could also stem from what you're saying. We've compartmentalized the physical, the spiritual, and the emotional rather than having all three of them. That's why, like, you know, when us millennials talk about our feelings and you hear some of the older generation, oh, you're just a millennial. Yeah, like I am. But I also want to, if I continue to keep my feelings in, it affects my body. It affects the way I love and serve. It affects like you said, it affects the area of influence and where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's something that needs to be taken seriously, I think, way more, and the three of them need to be talked about together more, not just in counseling sessions or therapy sessions, but like just studies done in learning our bodies and recognizing even in our sex lives with our spouses, like it is very physical, it is very spiritual, it is very emotional, and depending on some of the things you've gone through, it can affect that.
Yeah.
And it cannot be as enjoyable as it could be if you're not working through and healing some of those things or going through and bringing old things up to heal, to walk through, to discover, and doing it with your spouse.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just...
But having the emotional ability.
Absolutely. Let's go there. Having the emotional ability, because one of my favorite things about you, I know we've talked about like this last season and a couple episodes ago. I think for me, it was easy for me to give you back my heart on a platter. Specifically in this last season, because you showed me you weren't afraid of my darkness. Because I think some of the spiritual things that I'm continuously, I'm continuously combating in my life because of specific things that have happened, or specific things situations I've put myself in. You're not afraid of that darkness. But I think also you're not the same man you were in 2018. Because you're taking care of your body. And so sometimes we can look at it like that. We can actually be the growth stunter in our marriages because we're not taking care of ourselves physically. So you may be keeping your marriage from going deeper because you're not in a space to be able to handle your significant other's brokenness, that darkness. Because I mean, we all have it. There's the hard things, you know, and if we're not in that space, you can only go so deep, and it's fine. Like there's just so much beauty and so much freedom when you find that freedom in your significant other here on earth to wrestle with hard things and say, okay, like, I'm going to share this with you, and it's going to be hard to hear. And if you need time, I understand. Because we have to have that understanding that they're still human, they're still broken. Things they can hear can stir things, stir insecurities and all these things. But like in the last podcast, being able to say, okay, this is how I'm feeling. I feel like you're doing this, but I know that that's not your heart anymore. That's not who you are. But if we're not taking care of ourselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually, you're gonna be pitter-patting in a little kiddie pool for a long time.
Yeah.
And there's so much beauty in the depths of the ocean.
It's beautiful.
So yeah, thanks for being able to handle my darkness and just being able to, number one, take care of yourself. Like, that's a real thing. You know, they're always like, you know, when you're on the airplane and they tell you to put your mask on first, there's a reason. You know, thank you for taking that. Like, I can't change that in you. You had to do that. And so I definitely feel blessed to have a husband who's willing to do the hard things. Because without you doing that, I like talking about hard things, right? Like, not with everybody, but I want to deal with things. I want to be better. Like, I don't want to be stuck in the same space. We should look like we did last. Let's do this. And so I definitely think, yeah, I love it because at the end of the day, it draws us closer to the Father.
Yep.
And if this is not my home and heaven is my home, then this has moved me closer to it. You know, and not only that, but you've been such a display of who Christ is in my life and the way that you've loved me through those hard things. Not that you're perfect, but even in just the way you love me and you ask a really hard question and you want the honest truth and you're prepared for the honest truth, but not just that, you're prepared to walk with me through the honest truth. And that's something beautiful that I genuinely pray every wife gets to experience. So yeah, the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual are all three connected and need to be taken seriously, I think.
Yeah.
And stop glorifying the dad bod, because it's not glorifying. It shows a sign of laziness. It shows us a lack of care, like prioritizing it for not just yourself but your family and the people who you are pouring yourself out to in any, not even just ministry, in any job. Like, we won't go down that rabbit trail, but even people who are not in ministry with the ministry title, like being able to pour and give and push people to Christ.
Yeah.
You know, how do you handle that customer so well? They were such a jerk. Well, you know what? Like, you know what I mean? Being able to evangelize. But we get so distracted with the quick fixes in the American dream that it keeps us distracted from, I think, what the Father genuinely cares about.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's beautiful. I think it was, and we'll close after this, I think it was Paul Washer who said, you know, the things that I can't do any longer in my, you know, advanced age, I'm glad that I did whenever I was younger, whenever I had the strength. And I pray that all men will do the same thing, that they will expend themselves physically. He just said physically and spiritually, but, you know, like the emotional aspect as well. but that they would expend themselves in their youth while they can, while they have strength, so that whenever they get to be a father
Yeah.
in the ministry or just a mentor, that they can pour into the ones who are on the front lines, who are on the battlefields, and tell them and show them, this is what you're supposed to do and this is how you're supposed to do it. I can't do it anymore. You got it.
Yeah.
But this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I think it's just so important. But a lot of times we punt and we handicap ourselves by not taking care of all three of those things together.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, unless you have, do you have something else? You have something else? I feel like you got something else. Go ahead. You got something else. Go ahead.
No. Why do you cross your leg?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, but it's just when you're talking, it's making me think of.
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
I think our society is driven emotionally.
Explain.
All right, not everybody, okay? This is not a blanket statement,
Yeah.
but it seems as though our emotions dictate our lives a lot of the times. And if we're taking care of ourselves physically, spiritually, and emotionally, I think we could begin to recognize, okay, I'm angry. For me, I'm angry. I have 3 kids right here. They're all 3 asking me a question. I need to walk away because what's going to happen will be ungodly and unfruitful and could have a negative lasting impact on my kids. And so I think a lot of the times we react like what you, I mean, I guess I'm just reiterating what you said,
Go ahead.
but just that our emotions do not dictate our life. They are not in the driver's seat. If they are in the driver's seat, we need to get them the heck out. And we can't just kick our emotions out, right? They have to be in the car with us.
In the car seat.
In the
strapped
car seat, strapped in, being heard, being felt, but contained.
Not in the trunk.
Controlled, right, not in the trunk.
Not in the trunk.
No.
In the
you
car
can't
with
stuff
us.
them. You can't tie them to the roof.
Yeah.
They're in there with us, right? Because they are good.
Yeah.
The Lord gave it to us. However, when we're just reacting, and I'm not just talking about anger, like fear, anxiety, like if I'm allowing fear to consume me and my kids will never leave this property, right? Like, and that's not how God wants me to live my life.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm sorry. I just
Why did you
reiterated
say
what you
fine?
said,
That's
but
fine.
it's just yeah.
You added a different angle.
Yeah.
That's good. The car and all of that. That was good.
Well, I mean that was yours.
I understand, but
Yeah.
they don't know that.
Yeah,
It's good.
absolutely. And then with your Paul Washer thing, it just shows discipleship,
Yes.
true discipleship,
Yes.
and what it means to pour into the next generation. And if you're not taking care of yourself now, are you going to be able to do it well? For men and women. Our women, are we going to be able to do it well when we're older? Or are we just going to be the naggy old ladies, the gossipy old ladies? You all know them. You've seen them in your churches, and there's some of them are still there, and they need to be rebuked. Okay? That causes division in the house, in the
Sows
body of
discord.
believers. It sows discord, and it is not from God.
Yeah.
So it is so important to take care of the physical and the emotional and the spiritual. And it's going to look different for everybody and what the journey they choose to go on as far as like physically. Like what does that look like? And even emotionally and spiritually and the things that you've experienced in life and what the Lord is trying to prune from you. You know?
Yeah.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed Culture on Tap. Tap in. Is that right?
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
Past
Glad I could.
3 weeks. It's been great. I've enjoyed it.
3 weeks.
And we're going to do it again.
We're going to do it
We're
again.
going to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, thank you so much.
Yep.
And we'll continue to talk about all of these things off camera.
Oh,
and
for
maybe
sure.
on camera some more.
Maybe on camera some more. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for tapping in with us. We will see y'all next week. And heck, if you have any questions,
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
comments,
Mhm.
all of the things, if you want to talk some more, whatever the case may be, we are available. So,
I'm going to put that plug in, too. My husband did a whole, is it a dietitian?
uh-huh.
A dietitian course. And he is very much I'm gonna figure this thing out. I may not know right now, but I'm gonna figure this thing out for you. So if you're looking for any type of health, physical journey kickstart, my man, right here, Peter Moore.
Thanks for the plug.
You ready? Was that a good one?
Yeah, that was a good plug. And thanks for tapping in with us. See y'all next week.